Welcome to Khealos' Gaming Table. I am Khealos. On this channel I talk about tabletop RPGs, miniature war games, and GM tips. Tonight we're going to talk about some of the less flashy but unsung heroes of the 31st century. Tonight we're going to talk about light battle mechs. In the universe of Battletech, battle mechs are the kings of the battlefield. They are giant war machines moving across the battlefield, laying waste to everything in their path. They are found on hundreds of worlds. There are many different classes of mechs, each with a role defined by their speed, armor, and weapons. Quite possibly the least sexy of these mechs are the lights. Light mechs don't have the armor or weapons of heavies or assaults. The poster children of the franchise are not light mechs, unless we're talking about the memeverse. While light mechs might not dominate the battlefield along with their heavier siblings, they do have their place. The big thing that light mechs have going for them is that, in general, they are fast. They can build up a good TMM and are often able to get in and out of trouble. Those that have jump jets can leap out of harm's way, as well as getting into better targeting solutions. Many are designed for recon and scouting, and are a good solution to dealing with pesky infantry. When used correctly, especially if there's a scenario in play, light mechs are invaluable assets. They can get into position and tag an enemy, or act as a spotter for indirect fire. A light mech can race in and scan an objective. Some light mechs are even equipped with ECM. Light mechs run from 20 to 35 tons, but not all light mechs are created equal, or are as useful in all roles. Mechs like the Locust and the Mercury might be able to race across the battlefield, but they're not going to be able to take a hit like, say, a Panther or a Jenner. A Locust getting hit with a large laser is going to have a very bad day. What I do find funny are the pilots that prefer the Locust LCT-1 Echo over the LCT-1 Victor, because the 1 Echo is not ammo dependent. First, you will never play a game long enough to run out of machine gun ammunition. Second, if you get hit hard enough to risk the possibility of an ammo explosion, you're already in deep trouble. Light mechs are not designed to go head-on into a battle line, no matter what the compellents order you to do. Light mechs are challenging to play with a very unforgiving learning curve. One small mistake or an unlucky die roll and you're going to be missing a leg, or worse. What light mechs do excel at are getting around to flanks and to start crit seeking, especially if it's armed with SRMs. You can also get in there and kick something heavier, forcing a PSR. Some light mechs can even punch up, even if it's just a little. The Panther, for example, is armed with a PPC. The Wolfhound is armed with a large laser. Sure, they're light mechs with a bit more punch and more armor, but they're a lot slower than, say, the Locust. Light mechs are also very useful when you're going to run down damaged units or clear out infantry, especially if you have flamers, machine guns, and small pulse lasers. I mean, after all, it's only a war crime in Battletech if there are survivors, right? The clans also use light mechs, though they seem to use them as an elemental delivery system. Granted, clan light mechs are often equipped with clan tech, such as XL engines, ferrofibrous armor, and clan weapons. Add in their speed and accuracy, and that will make them a terror on the battlefield. Besides, what monster puts two clan ER PPCs on a light Omni mech? Light mechs can be a lot of fun going up against another light mech, though it can also be frustrating. That TMM you enjoy racing around the battlefield is now the bane of your existence. Between their TMM and your running mod, it can be as much as a +6 to hit. Add in the fact that a lot of lights have short and medium range weapons, add in another +2. It gets even worse if you're playing a 4-5 pilot. Light mechs will circle each other, trading shots, many missing the target. However, when you do get that hit, you'll cheer. If you're on the receiving end though, you'll cringe and wait to see what damage has occurred or any crits that are rolled. It doesn't take much to melt through that armor and start chewing through structure. A great tactic that you can use with the light mech is to pull an enemy out of position, baiting them to do something that they might not normally do. That's a risky move because you are putting your light mech out in the open, but hopefully that TMM keeps them alive. If you are able to draw them out, it allows your other mechs to hopefully get into position. Another good strategy with light mechs is to move them last. That way you can see what your enemy does and then position them to hopefully get behind your opponent or move them into an area where they can't be shot at. I've seen the simulations, but I do think it would be a lot of fun to run several light mechs against, say, an Atlas or another assault mech and see who goes down first. There is an achievement in the Harebrained Schemes Battletech game for that. I do have a couple of favorite mechs, one from the Inner Sphere and one from the clans. For the Inner Sphere, I'm going to go with the Jenner. I mean, it's a fast boy, it's better armored, and has a decent punch. You have a bunch of medium lasers to poke some holes in armor, and then you have some SRMs to try and destroy that gooey nugget center. It has jump jets to get away when things go poorly, and the speed to build up a decent TMM. On the client side, I'm going to have to go with the Piranha. Sure, it's not an Omni mech, but it's fast, and if it gets behind you, you get to eat 12 machine guns in the rear. It's not as flexible as other light mechs, but what can I say? I like what I like. When building your force, don't just pick a light mech to eat up your remaining battle value. It should be selected for a purpose. Pick it for harassment, creep seeking, or use it as a spotter. Light mechs are very flexible. Don't throw away your light mech as an afterthought, put it to use. Make those points count. Light mechs might not be the most feared units in a lance, but never underestimate them. What they lack in raw damage output, they'll make up for in tying up enemy units and hitting the OP4 in the flanks. Only a fool will ignore light mechs, especially with their speed to get into the back 40 and hit units from behind. What is your favorite light mech? Do you prefer the speedier ones or ones that hit harder? If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the comments below.